Mama kept faith like a straight shot arrow. Daddy kept time with a coal-stained husk. We had jars for nickels and jars for thunder. We had a stove that clicked like a nervous heart. When trouble blew in like a barn door open, I learned to pick just to keep from falling apart. There's a licking G that keeps me steady, rolling sea like a river bend. When Saturday knocks with a rusted Chevy, the midnight crowd becomes my friend. Smoke curls up from a barrel fire, sparks lift off like a prayer set free. If the night gets thin and the road gets meaner, I let that banjo speak for me. I courted a girl with a mountain lilac, hair like weed, eyes blue and bright. She said, boy, you play like a freight train coming, like a lantern swinging in a storm-tossed night. But I ramble too hard for a ring to anchor. The county line keeps calling my name, and every time I swear I'll stay, the five-string flames up just the same. Banjo fires at midnight, crackling in my hands, thumb and fingers sparking like a brush blaze on the land. If I can't tell my story, then I'll pick it clean and tight, light my way through ridge and holler, banjo fires at midnight. Sheriff says I play too wicked, preacher says I play too fast, but the lonesome in a man needs kindling, and steel strings strike and catch. Crowd shouts out for old Joe Clark, Shady Grove and 9-pound hammer. I blend my sins with the ancient hymns and let those harmonies clamor. Boot heels tap like rain on tin, mandolin chops like summer hail, fiddle saws a red-hot grin, bass walks steady, never frail. Some say grace before they eat, some say grace before they sleep. I say grace with a flurry of notes till the ridge runs out of steam. If I learn the quiet life, I'll hang this five on the cabin wall. Let moss reclaim the porch rails, bite, let frost ride toms each fall. But should the wind turn flint again, and dark come crowding tight, I'll strike the match on a nickel fret, set the pines ablaze tonight. Banjo fires at midnight, crackling in my hands, thumb and fingers sparking like a brush blaze on the land. If I can't tell my story, then I'll pick it clean and tight, light my way through ridge and holler, banjo fires at midnight. Oh, guide me home through ridge and holler, banjo fires at midnight. set the date when the sycamores blushed, when summer slowed to a copper hush. You stitched your name in linen white, 100 wages in a seam of night. The whistle cried like a steeple bell, and I rode the cage to the blackened well. I swore to rise with a pocket of light, to crown your hair with a ring that night. Down in the pit where time runs thin, a man learns what his breath is worth. You taste the rock and the salt of skin, and trade your youth for a wage of earth. I kept your letters in a tin, tied up with lace and thread, and every darling that you wrote lit candles in my head. Mama said, boy, keep clean your hands, but some stains never grant release. I tried to scrub with lying plans, but love ain't loving if you don't bring peace. The foreman barked, the roof line groaned, the timber shook like judgment's door. I felt the seam give up its bones, then I heard a distant choir roar. Coal dust on the wedding dress, dark veil where the white should rest. Smudge my promise, stain my best. Lord, forgive this foolish guest. If love is light, then I confess I brought you night instead of yes. Coal dust on the wedding dress, but your heart kept saying yes. You waited long beneath the elm, the preacher's shuffled nervous feet, the mandolin's a fragile helm when storms decide to never cease. I stumbled out at 3:30, a ghost that coughed, a man who fled, carried a ring like a broken key, and prayers that rattled in my head. You took my hands and didn't wince, though black had claimed the knuckles bare. You pressed your smile against my sins and brushed the soot right from the air. Fiddle cried a lonesome hymn, banjo tried to make it right. We waltzed on grit and grace and rim, turned soot to sparks in candlelight. If I could trade this life of coal for fields that breathe with easy rain, I'd build a porch and let you rock where jasmine soothes the evening pain. But till that day, my rugged bride, I'll wear this stain and pay this debt. For every smudge upon your gown, I'll plant a vow you won't forget. Coal dust on the wedding dress, dark veil where the white should rest. Smudge my promise, stain my best. Lord, forgive this foolish guest. Yet love can bless the worst distressed and turn a mind into a yes. Coal dust on the wedding dress, your heart kept saying yes. They say when fog braids through the laurel and the moon hangs thin as string, a rose and scent rides on the holler and the dark begins to sing. Dry Creek forks past the graveyard cedar where the stones lean like they're cold, and the creek keeps whispering secrets, too heavy, too tired, too old. Old Esther ran the only store, tacked no riverboats and debts and dreams. She'd shut at 9, but here at 10 that boat starts split the seams. A shiver drops the lantern light, the foxes hold their breath, and from the bend below the bridge a reel outruns its death. Goes Fiddler of Dry Creek, bowing where the shadows seep, tunes that make the pines all weep, reels that never fall asleep. If you dance you'll lose your track, if you chase you won't come back. Goes Fiddler of Dry Creek, he's playing what the living lack. Granddad swore he knew the soul of a boy named Rowan Pine, who loved a girl with eyes like coal and promised her a shrine. But money's mean and pride is quick, the county line grows tall. He signed with drink a ruinous pact and slipped beyond the fall. One night the ridge turned silver, the church bell cracked at 2. They found the bow laid on the rail, the river wild and blue. Nobody came to answer, no ring to mark the vow, and every autumn since that night he calls the dancers now. I brought my fiddle once to meet him, tuned it sharp and true, stood at the bend and begged the wind to teach me what he knew. He answered with a wicked reel that braided grief and grace. I chased the lick into the dark and almost lost my place. Goes Fiddler of Dry Creek, bowing where the shadows seep, tunes that make the pines all weep, reels that never fall asleep. I'll play the light, you play the black, trade me sorrow, I'll trade it back. Ghost Fiddler, keep your track, I'll bow where living hearts don't crack. Ghost Fiddler of Dry Creek, he's playing what the living lack. Paper scrap, folded twice, kept clean of sap. Stood where tugboats bruised the banks and train horns brayed with steeple claps. I couldn't face your porch that night, my courage wore a borrowed suit. So I asked the river to carry truth like a gospel tied to a cedar root. Telegraph wires hum like bees, sending sparks through county air. But water keeps a quieter code, it's
swallow secrets others share. I dropped that letter in with prayer, watched it spin and catch the moon. Hopped the current, knew your name, hoped it found your doorstep soon. Tennessee River telegram, carried by the Lord's own hand. Read my heart in rippled lines, signed in silt instead of sand. If I can't say I miss you, man, then let the current take my stand. Tennessee River telegram, deliver me to solid land. Where sassafras leans low and Sunday dresses sweep the dust. I kept my hat like a nervous vow, you kept your laugh like sacred trust. But city work pulled iron miles, I painted number boards and rails, while you strung lights in a diner's smile and counted tips like fairy tales. I sent you pennies, sent you tunes, picked them soft on a borrowed $5. You sent me recipes on napkins, grease bleed hearts that kept me alive. But distance weighs like a sodden rope, a phrase and not a prayer can't hold. So I wrote the truth that I had feared, I'm coming home before I'm old. Shoreline weeds caught at my boots, tugboat lanterns made a cross. I asked for mercy from the night for all the years we spent at loss. If you don't read that river script, if you don't hear my name in phone, I'll ride the morning's boxcar hymn and thunder all the way back home. Tennessee River telegram, carried by the Lord's own hand. Read my heart in rippled lines, signed in silt instead of sand. If I can't say I miss you, ma'am, then let the current take my stand. Tennessee River telegram, deliver me to solid land. And grand, deliver me to solid land. That old blue tick knew my secrets. He'd curl beside the porch rail crook, kept watch on every midnight plan. The lawman never thought to look. When I was young and full of thunder, I ran my luck like stolen wood, tracked my sins through laurel cover. That hound just grinned like, boy, be good. We chased a rumor up the ridge lines where moonshine ghosts wore wedding veils. We tripped on the day. Sheriff's lights like river lightning, preacher's eyes like winter glass. I swore to change with springtime thunder, but habit tangled me like grass. Then one night under thunder heads, the hound sat still and wouldn't run. He stared me down like an older brother, then loped uphill toward the sun. He crossed the fence I never vaulted, climbed the path I always feared, where graves of men who straightened late lay quiet, plain and clear. I followed breathless, hat in hand, till dawn turned ridges gold. Found him waiting near a chapel door as bells began to roll. Inside that room they sang of mercy, harmony like cedar smoke. I laid my pride beside the pew where childhood vows had broke. The hound lay down as if to say, that's far enough, now learn to stay. And in the hush between the verses I felt the dirt wash clean away. Hound dog took the high road, left my footprints in the clay. Pointed nose to better weather, wouldn't follow me astray. If a man can mend his errors, let a dog go show the way. Hound dog took the high road, I'm a chasing him today. Yes, I'll take that blessed high road. My hound will lead the way. We set our still where the shadows bend, under the sycamore broad and wide. Granddad taught me how to blend the mash with patience, pride. Copper coils hiss like vipers, steam curl like a hen. We bottle lightning in mason jars, secrets burning within. Neighbors whispered when I passed, that boy's got fire in his veins. But lawmen never caught my trail, too busy tracking train. The night was ours, the ridge our stage, banjo echoed down the glen. We'd pass the jug and raise a laugh, then hide it all again. Moonshine under the sycamore, glowing like a saint's old lore. Drink it once, you'll beg for more, burning deep from root to core. If the law comes knocking hard, we'll slip out through the pine wood yard. Moonshine under the sycamore, our bond, our bread, our sword. I loved a girl with summer eyes, she danced on the cabin floor. Her laughter sweeter than cherry pies, her lips like apple core. I courted her with fiddle tunes, with mandolins so bright. But when she sipped that sycamore brew, her kiss near set alight. She swore she'd stand beside my name, no matter what I brewed. Your hands can craft both sin and grace, but your heart's the truest food. We carved our vows in sycamore bark, initials twined with
with road. And every jar that left the ridge was sealed with secret hope. One day the sheriff tracked the scent, lantern high and badge aglow. I hid the mash in river silt, prayed the roots would never show. But just as cuffs came reaching near, my darling sang a hymn, and that sheriff dropped his hat in tears, remembered where he'd been. Moonshine under the sycamore, glowing like a saint's, oh Lord. Drink it once, you'll beg for more, burning deep from root to core. If the law comes knocking hard, we'll slip out through the pine wood yard. Moonshine under the sycamore, our bond, our bread, our sword. Yes, love and fire forevermore. Moonshine under the sycamore.
Up on the ridge by the hollow bend, where the pines cut deep and thin, a lantern sways each autumn night and whispers call you in. Folks say it's Mary Lou who lost her man in war. She waits with fire that never dies at the pine wood shadowed door. I've seen her light from saddleback, it flickers, fades, then grows, like sorrow trying to learn to sing, like frost upon a rose. The children hide their eyes in bed, the old men cross themselves, but me, I follow that lantern's glow, like a moth to secret shells. Widow's lantern in the pine, glowing where the dark confined, gotten lost and worn in blind grief that burns and never declines. If you seek, you'll pay in time. If you pray, you'll toe the line. Widow's lantern in the pines, forever cursed to shine. Her man marched out in 42, left her a kissing ring, but death came home in folded cloth, no vows left to sing. She swore she'd keep the fire alive to guide him back once more, and so she paces every night, her soul an open door. I brought my fiddle once to play beneath her silent flame. The bow near snapped from icy air when I called her name. She turned her eyes like rivers black, no ground beneath my feet, and whispered low, the war ain't done, I'll never know defeat. Some lights guide the living home, some lights guard the dead, but hers is caught between the two, a grief that's never shed. If ever you wander after dark and the pines lean close and tall, remember
Preacher's voice was soft and clear. My heart was on the rail line where the whistle split the air. Mama prayed with folded hands, Daddy hummed the gospel sweet. But I slipped out, see that engine thundering, iron firing heat. Still and smoke became my sermon, pistons preaching every mile. Each wheel clanged a hymn of freedom, sparks like incense all the while. I waved to strangers through the windows, faces bound for distant towns. Dreamed of riding far from ridges where no lawman pulls you down. Train smoke on Sunday, staining heaven gray. Choir songs behind me, whistles lead the way. If salvation's waiting, it'll have to wait a day. I found my gospel rolling, train smoke on Sunday. Sheriff says I've got no patience, preacher says my soul's astray. But when I hear that lonesome whistle, I can't kneel, I ride away. Love once tried to hold me steady, girl with ribbon in her hair. She said, choose between my altar or the tracks that go nowhere. I kissed her hand, I kissed her cheek, I kissed her tears away. But the engine roared like thunderclouds and I left her where she prayed. Now I chase that ghost of freedom down the line, both near and far. With the Lord behind and steeple glass and my faith a boxcar scar. Maybe one day rails will end, bend into a circle hole. Maybe I'll find peace at last and stillness for my soul. But till that final station comes, I'll chase the smoke and flame. For better a sinner riding free than a saint who stays the same. Train smoke on Sunday, staining heaven gray. Choir songs behind me, whistles lead the way. If salvation's waiting, it'll have to wait a day. I found my gospel rolling, train smoke on Sunday. Yes, my gospel's rolling, train smoke on Sunday.
Granddad played a fiddle, worn strings near cutting through the bow. Notes like thunder, notes like dawn filled the holler long ago. When he died, they hung it high, cabin rafters held it tight. Dusty wood and silence deep, no one dared to wake the night. I was 12 and curious still, stretched my hands and plucked a chord. Mama said that bow is sacred, child, don't tempt the Lord. But I pulled till resin sang, melody both sharp and raw. And in that sound I swore I felt his breath, his hand, his law. Fiddle hung on the cabin wall, silent till the children called.
whiskey drowned my reckoning, cards and debts my steady fate. But each night when storms would break, I'd hear a tune I couldn't place. Saw the fiddle shimmer slide as if to beg for saving grace. So I rose and then tuned and played, shook the roof with grief and fire. Neighbors gathered round the porch, their silence climbed the wire. Even Mama's wrinkled hand pressed the time upon her knee. Said that sound ain't yours alone, but bloodline's gift for all to see. If I fall and leave this earth, hang it high for next in line. Let them learn that music's worth is more than gold or mine. Every bow stroke writes a psalm, every note's a prayer to call. So hang it high and hang it proud, fiddle on the cabin wall. Fiddle hung on the cabin wall, silent till the children call. Ghost of every hymn and brawl lives within that fiddle tall. Play until the rafters fall. Fiddle hung on the cabin wall.
Smoking gin, ever ran an itch to win. Cards slapped hard on cypress tables, fiddle jigs above the din. And I swore the river's gamble was the only faith I'd spend. First hand brought me silver bride, second near took my soul. Luck's a woman mean and slight, she'll take her toll. Her sleeve smiled and drew me near. She said, fortune's just a ghost, don't build your house here. But I was young and fire bent, thought my hands were fast and sure. Now my pocket's lined with sorrow and the current's got the cure. Deal a lap with hollow teeth, preacher wept against the wall. Flew high like autumn leaves, chips collapsed like fall. At sunrise I had nothing left but one tune in my head. The fiddle played a mournful reel in a gambler's
should temptation find me still, when the whistle calls my name, I'll curse my hand, I'll curse my will, and lose it all the same. Riverboat gamblers lament, wagered all my days were spent. Coins and cards and heaven's rent, gone like gas, the current bend. If you hear my name, repent. River's debts are never lent. Riverboat gamblers lament. Yes, the river takes its rent. Riverboat gamblers lament. Hammer rang in the valley morn, sparks flew high as the day was born. My daddy forged the farmer's plow, the miners picked the wagon's yoke and down. I was just a barefoot child, watching steel be tamed from wild. Every clang a prayer of sweat, every blade a vow well said. But I had songs instead of nails, banjo strings instead of rails. Mama smiled, but Daddy frowned. Boy, your music won't feed this town. Still I'd sneak behind the shed, play till callous fingers bled. Fiddle joined me from the creek, harmony and secret need. I'm the blacksmith's son with a fire of my own, not in the forge, but in songs I've grown. Daddy shapes iron, I shape the air. Two kinds of fire, two kinds of prayer. At 17 I took to road, wagon bands and fiddle loads, played in taverns, barns and fields, traded songs for bread and meals. Letters home were few and thin, Mama read 'em with a grin, but Daddy never wrote me back, just silence on the paper black. Then one night the letter came, your daddy's ill, his fire is lame, the forge gone cold, the hammer still. Son, come home to work the will. I rode through rain and mountain storm, saw the shop both dark and worn, laid my banjo by the door, picked the hammer up once more. I struck the iron, struck it true, heard my daddy whisper through, boy, your fire's just the same, music, metal, both one flame. And when he passed I built a cross, tempered steel to mark the loss, played a hymn he'd never sung, tears and sparks both roll as one. I'm the blacksmith's son with a fire
lines of prayer.
Down in Hollow Branch, they say, lives a curse that won't decay. Every harvest moon it cries, echoes through the midnight skies. A miner vanished, so did two. Sheriff gone and preacher too. Folks don't walk that hollow lane unless they're blind or mad insane. I was young and full of dare, chased that echo through the air, carried fiddle on my back, lantern dim along the track, saw a cabin split with moss, chimney cold, the roof near lost, but inside strings began to moan, by one seen but not alone. Ballad of Hollow Branch, sung by ghosts who never rest. Every note's a soul's lament, every chord a cold request. If you play, they'll play you back. If you sing, they'll cut your track. Ballad of Hollow Branch, don't go where the dead still dance. They say a fiddler sold his tune to keep his lover one more June. When she died, he played the stream, cursed himself in devil's scheme. Now each night that hollow moans, bows that grind on broken bones. Children weep and old men pray, keep that cursed branch away. I pulled my bow and played a hymn, Amazing Grace, to drown the din. But the notes grew sharp and wild, voices joined both fierce and vile. Lantern cracked, the shadow swirled, felt the pull of other worlds. Dropped my fiddle, ran full speed, prayed the Lord would intercede. If ever you hear that phantom choir, don't go near the hollow's fire. Stay on ridge where pine trees bend. Don't go seeking devil's friend, for every Fiddle's lament, every chord a cold request. If you play, they'll play you back. If you sing, they'll cut your track. Ballad of Hollow Branch, don't go where the dead still dance.
Morning broke in a logging camp, fire gone and boots still down. I sat down by the iron stove, cold biscuits in my hand to hold, black coffee poured like bitter tar. Mule team harness creaked afar, working men with blistered palms hummed old hymns to carry on. No silver spoon, no feather bed, just sawdust meals and pine shack shed. We earned our bread with backs and sweat, traded youth for logs, we said. I thought of Mama's Sunday pie, of Daddy's voice both strong and high. But here it's coffee dark and mean, biscuits stale as last year's dream. Cold biscuits, black coffee, keeping men alive. One burns the tongue, one breaks the teeth, both teach you to survive. In the pines where work is rough, in the dawn that ain't enough. Cold biscuits, black coffee, fuel for rugged love. There was a girl down in the town, red hair tied in ribbon brown. I dreamed her laughter soft and sweet, while chewing dry and bitter wheat. She said she'd wait till logs were done, till I came home with settling sun. But I knew the truth, the woods don't pay, they steal your years and run away. So every morning, same old song, I poured it thick, I'd shoot it long, said a prayer with every bite, Lord keep me through another night. And though the men might curse the grind, though hunger stalks and teeth decline, still we share the pot and plate and carry on till heaven's gate. If I ever leave these woods, I'll build a home on gentle goods, feed my love on pie and cream, not this bitter logger's dream. But till that gray still work is through, this is what a man must do. Drink the black, chew the cold, let the timber shape your soul. Cold biscuits, black coffee, keeping men alive. One burns the tongue, one breaks the teeth, both teach you to survive. In the pines where work is rough, in the dawn that ain't enough. Cold biscuits, black coffee, fuel for rugged love. his vows were near complete, sheriff's boots rang down the street. Kicked the door and shouted aloud, tried to break our mountain crowd. Her daddy drew, her brothers too, chaos sparked, the bullets flew. But she just smiled, poured me a glass, let's drink, love, this too shall pass. We ran out through the pinewood door, lawmen chasing guns galore. I held her hand, she laughed out wild, this is life, my love, my child. And though the ridge was dark and steep, we made our vow the law won't keep. I'll die before I lose her fire, my bride, my outlaw, my desire. Now years have passed, we hide and roam, every cabin feels like home. Raise our kids on music strong, fiddle, banjo, outlaw song. And every night I see her eyes burning like those wedding skies. My bride, my fire, forever free, moonshine runs in love and me. Blue Ridge moonshine bright, fire water in her stride. Every kiss a burning tide, love that won't be denied. If the law comes down tonight, I'll hold her hand, I'll hold her tight. Blue Ridge moonshine bright, my outlaw star, my pride.
Once I played in every hall, barn and church, both big and small. Crowds would cheer, the fiddles fly, mandolins would kiss the sky. But years roll on, the strings grow thin, fingers stiff, the lights grow dim. Now in my attic sits the proof, a banjo case beneath the roof. Dust has gathered, years are long, silence stole the picking song. But every time the storm wind blows, I swear I hear those old echoes. The case is worn, the latch is rust, but inside waits the friend I trust. An old five-string that still remembers every stage and every ember. Dust on the banjo case, silence on the stair, but music never truly dies. It lingers in the air. Pick it up and feel the grace, see the smiles, hear the plays. Dust on the banjo case, waiting for embrace. I once played with Uncle Joe, fiddler sharp and mandolin slow. We toured the ridges, fed the crowd, lifted hearts both meek and proud. Now they're gone, the years have fled, but I keep their songs in head. And when I crack that case once more, I'll bring them back, I'm sure. One night my grandson came around, found the banjo on the ground. He strummed a chord, he grinned so wide. Grandpa, teach me, be my guide. And in his eyes I saw the flame, the one that kept me in the game. So I tuned it up, I played it clear. The dust fell off, the song was near. Every silence hides a sound, every loss a chance is found. Pick it up, don't let it waste. Wipe the dust from banjo's face. Generations hear the call from the cabin to the hall. Music's blood and music's grace. No more dust on banjo case. Dust on the banjo case. Silence on the stair, but music never truly dies. It lingers in the air. Pick it up and feel the grace. See the smiles, hear the place. Dust on the banjo case, waiting for embrace. Yes, dust no more, just sweet embrace. I was born in a one-room shack, smoke-stained logs and rafters black. Mama sang me down to sleep, Daddy prayed the roof would keep. Seasons carved their names in pine. Winter's lean and summer's fine. Every knot and every seam held the echoes of my dream. I carved my name when I was 10, beside the window, weathered then. Dreamed of travel, dreamed of flight, dreamed of towns with brighter lights. But still those walls would hum at night, creak and moan in lantern light, saying, boy, your roots run deep. This cabin's where your soul will sleep. Cabin walls, remember me. Every scar and every plea. Logs that held my history still sing back my melody. Cabin walls, remember me. I left at 20, banjo in hand, played the fairs across the land, saw the city's glitter face, heard the whistle of the trains. But when the world grew loud and thin, I longed to hear the pine again. That cabin with its humble grace kept my song and kept my place. I came back when Daddy died, stood on porch with tearful eyes, touched the beam where he once leaned, felt the strength of all that's been. Mama rocked with Bible-worn walls, still held her hymns each morning. When she passed, I swore I'd keep the cabin's promise strong and deep. Now my children carve their names in the logs that bear our flames. Banjo hangs above the door, fiddle waits to play once more. Generations bound in pine, music, prayer, and bread of time. Every echo, every plea, cabin walls remember me. Cabin walls remember me. Every scar and every plea, logs that held my history still sing back my melody. Cabin walls remember me. Yes, cabin walls remember me.
There's a shack by Widow's Creek where the lantern burns so weak, and on the shelf a whiskey jar holds the tales of who we are. Every man that passed that bend left his sorrow, found his end, poured a shot, then walked away. Some returned, but most did stay. I first came at 17 with a broken heart and shattered dream. Poured a dram, it burned so hot, swore I'd never tie a knot. But whiskey knows what prayers can't keep. It pulls your soul down deep, and Widow's Creek, it heard me weep. My vows and secrets it will keep. Whiskey jar at Widow's Creek, strong enough to break the weak. Pour your pain, your past, your plea, leave it where the spirits speak. Whiskey jar at Widow's Creek. I met a girl with raven hair. She danced like shadows in the air. Brought her once to taste the fire, thought it'd calm her, lift her higher. But she drank too much that night, stumbled off and lost her sight. In Widow's Creek it claimed her fast. Her memory lives, her spirit past. So now I come with a lantern dim, pour a glass and think of when she laughed and said the world was wide before the creek took back its bride. And though the sheriff says it's sin, I pour my love, I pour it thin into that jar, into that stream, into my heart's unending dream. If you wander near the bend, don't mistake it for a friend. That whiskey's fire, that creek's a snare. It'll steal your soul right there. But if your heart is broken too,
and you've got nothing left to do. That jar still waits beneath the pine. Drink your loss and call it mine. Whiskey jar at a widow's creek, strong enough to break the weak. Pour your pain, your past, your plea. Leave it where the spirits speak. Whiskey jar at a widow's creek.
Started out in Tennessee, moonshine packing wild as me. Ford flat, it roared like fire. Sheriff's men could not conspire. He ran hard through mountain bends, dodged the law and left no friends. Every gear a prayer and steel, every mile the devil's deal. Mama begged me, son, don't go. Leave that life, it kills you slow. But thunder lives in restless veins, and outlaws never stay contained. I swore I'd make it past the line, drop the load in Carolina, cash in hand, a future bright, but shadows chase me through the night. Thunder road to Carolina, moonlight burning, law behind you, steel wheels singing, fate's designer. Thunder road to Carolina. I saw the lights in rearview glass, sirens screaming through the pass. Banjo licks in my own head, playing fast I pressed the tread. Bridge ahead was washed by rain, creek running wild, near insane. But I had no choice but to fly. Steel and man both touched the sky. They say I live, they say I died. Truth gets lost in outlaw pride. But in the ridge on stormy nights, you'll hear that engine burning bright. Fiddle screams and banjo rolls like tires on curves and gravel goals. And if you see a flash of chrome, that's me still driving home. Some roads lead to heaven's door, some roads end on rocky shore, but Thunder Road still calls my name. Every storm repeats the same. If I die before it's done, let them say I rode like sun, blazing through the Carolina night. Outlaw hard, outlaw light.
clover bloom, sweet perfume in summer's room. I wore shackles none could see, outlaw heart not meant for free. We met by river's gentle bend, thought our love would never end. But fate is cruel and law is strong, and I was bound to do her wrong. I robbed a store one autumn night, pistol raised in lantern light. Thought I'd feed us, thought I'd run, but ended up with noonday sun. Sheriff caught me iron cold, clover bloom could not unfold. She cried and swore she'd wait for me. Through the bars she kissed my plea. Clover bloom and county jail, love and loss on same old trail. One grows wild, the other pale. Clover bloom and county jail. Letters came with petals pressed, sealed with vows I can't contest. Every word a meadow bright, kept me sane in endless night. But time is cruel and hearts must roam. She found another, built a home. I don't blame her, I don't curse. Just play this song, rehearse, rehearse. Now I'm free but still in chains. Roam the ridges, call her name. See her children laugh and grow. Hear the fiddle, feel the woe. And though she smiles with someone new, in my heart she's always true. Clover bloom, forever mine, even if the stars decline. If I could turn the hands of fate, never rob, never wait, I'd pick her crown in fields of green, live a life both pure and clean. But chains were cast before my birth, outlaw veins and mountain earth. So I just sing, I just wail, clover bloom and county jail. Clover bloom and county jail, love and loss on same old trail. One grows wild, the other pale. Clover bloom and county jail. Yes, clover bloom and county jail.
There's a road of gravel white, winds through pines and disappears at night. Every traveler leaves a sound, echoes rolling round and round. Mule team bells or car wheels hum, every life song leaves a drum. And if you listen, you will hear voices gone, but still so near. I walked that road when I was small, heard my grandpa's fiddle call. Every note a map to me, showing where my soul should be.
step, every chord answered by that mountain road. Echoes down the mountain road, carry every song I know. Voices past and hearts bestowed live within that mountain road. When I left for city's light, echoes chased me every night, reminded me of ridge and pine, simple days and simple time. Though the money came in waves, city life became my grave. I longed again for gravel sound, mountain echoes, sacred ground. So I returned with banjo worn, fiddle cracked but still adorned. Played beneath the stars once more, let the echoes open doors. Neighbors came with smiles and tears, echoes joined from older years. And as we sang in harmony, I swore this is eternity. Someday when my voice is gone, echoes will still carry song. Children's laughter, fiddles clear, rolling through the mountain years. So walk that road, don't be afraid. Echoes bless the steps you've made. Every life, both weak and strong, becomes an echo, becomes a song. Echoes down